Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Victoria 3, Voice of the People. So sorry there wasn't an episode yesterday. Unfortunately that Company of Heroes 3 video, we're playing that on the PlayStation 5, took a little bit longer for me to get recorded and uploaded than expected, so I didn't have time to record both the Vicky video and the CK3 one. So one thing I wanted to announce in yesterday's video, and I'll be announcing in this one, is that this series here is going to be moving to an every other day format, just like what we're doing with the CK3 one, and they'll just be basically rotating. So this series episodes we will be releasing on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, because we don't have those episodes on Monday. So 3 days a week, and really this series just isn't popular enough to justify me putting out up to 15 videos per week, with the videos I do with Jinx and then the CK3 ones and these ones. But yeah, it just hasn't been all that popular, which is unfortunate because the game hasn't been out that long. So the first thing we're going to be doing in today's episode is to declare additional interests. We have 3 more that we can do here. So let's go and do China. And, actually, let's do the northern part of China. We'll do Japan as well. And I think maybe Korea. Yeah, we'll do Korea. Remember, this also results in us having, this is Manchuria and Korea, but this results in us having more trade partners as well. And then we can also set up colonies over here. We already have an interest in this region. And now that we got that one tech, for the severe malaria, we can now set up colonies. I don't think we're going to try and colonize all of these. Let's just we'll do this region here. I don't know, I'm kind of tempted to just set up as many colonies as we can get, as the British haven't really colonized here. Yeah, why not? We'll kind of colonize all these regions. Better us than the British. So yeah, we'll get that set up. And yeah, we have up to 20 interests now. Alright, so one thing we're going to be doing, let's wait till this election first to kind of see how things change. Yeah, but I have a law that we can work on. But yeah, let's get through the election, see how that changes the interest groups. And we got the booming industries completed. Excellent. Alright, so we'll have a few different choices here. Do we want to boost the munition plants, our mines, or the chemical plants? Well, we're currently building chemical plants. Obviously that would be helpful, but yeah, we already have this set up here. Might just be better to do the mines. Yeah, let's do that. So it's a variety of industries that are getting a smaller boost rather than one industry getting a big boost. So it looks like the Union of Rights did fantastic in the election, so they're now starting to, well, they got the landowners in there. I see, that makes sense. So yeah, they're doing very well. Party of Order is no longer the dominant party in our country. Democratic Alliance with the Industrialists and the Intelligentsia have 16.6% of the votes, while the Agrarian and Farmer Party, obviously aren't getting significant support here. So we can change up our government. Probably don't need to though, because you're not going to get anything better than this. So we're going to keep it as is. So the law that we can now work on is one we've been trying to pass, autocracy. So the landowners are no longer opposed to it. Now we still are going to irritate the industrialists, the intelligentsia, and the trade unions. But yeah, we got the landowners on our side, so now we got a lot of support in the country. So shouldn't it end up in a revolution here? Another thing we could do to ensure that we didn't have that kind of problem is maybe, I don't think we can make this guy the leader, can we? No, because the industrialists are not part of the government. We could always bring in another agitator, but if we wanted to make them the leader, they'd have to be part of the government, their party. So yeah, if you brought in this guy for the intelligentsia, it might increase their support a little bit. I don't know that agitators have an effect though in that regard. So other than their their influence on the political movements. Yeah, I think we're probably good here, guys. We should be able to get past, first of all, quickly, and hopefully without a revolution. So let's go and try it out again for the 3rd time. And we'll see how well this works out. Now, obviously, we are going to gain different benefits and lose some of the bonuses we had. Basically, we're losing the Industrious and the Intelligentsias bonuses. Okay, so hopefully they don't start a political movement that results in a lot of radicalism. It looks like radicalism is stepping up currently, but we're not getting that penalty that's slowing this down, so should be able to do it fairly quickly. Yeah, February will be the next time that this should move straight to drafting is 100%, so there's really no reason that it couldn't be. So it looks like Sweden is attempting to unify Scandinavia. So they started this diplomatic play, allowing them to annex Denmark to create Scandinavia. And they'll likely win here unless somebody else gets involved. And as right now, nobody is. So we'll have to see what happens here. We could support that to kind of help the Danes over the Swedes. I don't know that we really care much about this. I suppose it depends on if anybody else gets involved here. So this would result in them unifying Scandinavia. What's this one do? So it forces Sweden to renounce their ambitions to unify Scandinavia. Okay, interesting. So yeah, we would probably want to support Denmark in this if we were going to support anybody. And it looks like our ally Spain is also leaning towards supporting Denmark. Sort of just, lean towards them, and let's just see how this develops. But obviously Denmark is going to, fight because they don't want to be annexed. Their life and existence depends on this here. So I meant to click on this here. We can look at this new event that just popped up here, an exile at the gates. So the relatively lenient French immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Recently, Ferdinand, I don't know how his name's pronounced there. That's the agitator we just saw. I forgot which country exiled him here. Let's see if it shows. It should show his home country. You'd expect that it would, but maybe not. Yeah, it really should show the home country of the character, because the game does track that. Like if you look into files, it does note where their home country is from. So interesting that it doesn't tell you that anywhere. That'd be good information to know. I mean, you could look at their, well, he's French culture. Okay, I was gonna say you could look at their culture and maybe get a guess, but no, not in that case. So we can say eventually Ferdinand II will be French, and he'll join the movement to preserve wealth voting. Yeah, we don't want that. Or we will not have someone like this regardless of precedent, and will irritate the industrialists. Okay, we'll go with that. But they did start a movement to preserve the wealth voting, so let's hope they can't get enough support here. They have medium support, which is the same level of support we have for autocracy. And a whole bunch of stuff just popped up over here. Austria's been swayed for one of these. Oh, to side with Denmark. That's interesting. And then Sweden is offering us this vassal here, Schleswig, if we help them out. Well, we don't want Sweden to win in this, and why would we want this random vassal here that they'd probably just attack us for later anyways? Yeah, we're going to decline that. I don't want Sweden to win here. I'd prefer Denmark to win. We're going to take a look at all these here. So, yeah, we don't care about this. We're going to declare our neutrality here. Another one here that we'll likely just go and declare our neutrality on. And then, yeah, this situation here, it's hard to say what will happen with Austria now backing them. They want a regime change in Norway. And Norway, aren't they, interpersonal union? So you change the regime, then that means Sweden loses Norway. So this war could be devastating for Sweden if they lose it. So again, I'm very much interested in perhaps helping them here. I don't know, though. We don't have to do much in helping them. And Prussia was swayed by Sweden now. Okay, so this is starting to really develop here. And Great Britain also sided with Sweden. Wow, Sweden is getting everybody over here. So this is a massive conflict. If we were to get involved, this would be like a world war in a sense. I mean, we probably won't actually fight in our colonies, but could be if you fought in the colonial territories. Denmark really needs to get somebody else to support them. Like, I want to help here. What's interesting is that Austria and Prussia would be at war. Yeah, I don't really want to fight the Prussians and the British. But at the same time, I don't want Sweden to win this. And just kind of let it continue to develop here. I'm just hoping they offer somebody else something to get involved. We have moved to drafting now. We'd have a front here to fight on. So that'd be this front here. Yeah, they still haven't offered us anything. And it's a real bummer that we haven't seen it added the reverse swaying, I think is what Paradox was calling it, because they said that they're planning on adding it, where basically you can tell Denmark or any other country that's involved with a diplomatic play, look, I'll support you if you give me X. Give me an obligation or give me this territory. And they just really need to allow, you know, secondary countries to have more interaction with demands and stuff. So yeah, it's a bummer we can't do anything here to actually get something out of this. Because yeah, I really want to support Sweden in this conflict, but fighting a big old war that we get nothing from, I mean, we're gonna have to fight both Prussia and the British. We'll have the Austrians to help us, of course. Yeah, fighting this big old conflict, because this is starting to become a fairly large war. Fighting it to gain nothing would be unfortunate. But yeah, the theaters might not have to, I mean, send a lot of troops. And so maybe it wouldn't be too costly. We could just stop construction as well. You know, we still can't compete with the British in the seas. And so there's going to be, you know, troubles when it comes to our trade routes and stuff. The Prussians have 93 ships, while the Austrians have 88. So they almost cancel each other out. Yeah, and there's not much of a navy with these countries either. And Spain still hasn't joined yet. Yeah, I'm really tempted to go ahead and throw our backing onto the side of Denmark here. Especially because these other countries got involved. And this is going to give Prussia that instead. So basically they offered Prussia what they offered us. And the British are getting an obligation. Yeah, I think we're going to do this, guys. Let's support Denmark. I think it's necessary at this point. So let's go and raise our troops. Yeah, I think this is one where we definitely want to get involved in. So we'll have a front to fight on. As far as how many troops we're going to raise up, I don't want to raise too many, guys, because this is not, you know, an extremely important conflict. We just don't want to pay for a whole bunch of troops. And so what we probably want to do is leave some to defend, of course. Somebody probably needs to be promoted as well. We don't have many battalions underneath these current generals here. So could promote somebody up to a higher level. Perhaps this guy here. I just want to make sure he's armed forces. He is. Because he's decent. He's a popular commander as well. Experienced. Brave. Yeah, I think we might promote him in the French HQ. And then we'd leave like this guy behind to defend. Well, not mobilizing him. And then, you know, just leave all those units, I mean, to defend any invasions, because that might be a real possibility. But yeah, clearly 40 divisions wouldn't be enough. So this is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and mobilize, or excuse me, promote him, and then mobilize him. That gives them 60 units. And so we'd only be making use of those 60 units. Although I guess there's this front which we should probably help out on. So we'd want to have troops here and then troops here. So I didn't think about that fact. So we'll probably want to send a few more then in that case. Maybe from North Africa? I think we have a North Africa general. So could send him. But what we really need is the defensive guy. Since we would want to invade into there. Yeah, we can send the North African troops over there. Why not? So maybe promote him as well. And then like let him get some experience. We could take a look if there's any good generals out there you might want to recruit into North Africa. There's none for the armed forces, unfortunately. Yeah, nobody super exciting here. So I'd probably prefer to just promote the North African guy. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we'll leave you guys as is in France. And go ahead and promote this character here. Now, we might need to get another general mobilized. We'll see. Yeah, let's go ahead and promote him. Now, we are unfortunately out of bureaucracy, so we're going to need to solve that. But yeah, then we'll want to mobilize. Where's he at? He's got more units, so he's probably over here now. So mobilize him. So how many units are in each of these locations? So don't need to send much to defend there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and advance with the French troops here to try and push Prussia out of the war. But we can only advance this far, and then we won't have a front with them anymore. We could help out over here to try and take over the rest of that. But yeah, let's just take over this. We'll see if they even bring troops over here. And then with the North African general, he's going to defend here. And then that's it for now. So yeah, this is becoming a much larger conflict. I suppose we should probably take a look at our fleet as well. Oh, we don't have any admirals. Okay, so that's a problem. So we need to get admirals in France. So we can get more armed forces, guys. So that's good. Increase their influence. I think this guy's clearly the best. So let's recruit him. And then over here, we'll get... Yeah, these are all armed forces, luckily. Fortunately, this character is wounded. He does have the naval commander bonus, though. He also has the explorer one. Not that we're doing any of those missions right now. I guess we'll go with this arrogant character. And then we'd probably want to promote them, so they'll have command of more ships. And okay, I promoted him a little bit too high, I think. I will go and promote him at a level so he'll get access to that full 100 there. And so the armed forces are getting a lot more influence, which is a good thing. Alright, so as far as what we're going to do with these guys, probably just leave them to patrol coast. Yeah, we'll just do the patrol coast for now. And just kind of allow our convoys to be raided if that's what happens. Because we want to stop any potential naval invasions. Though I don't even know if that's what the British would do anyways. We'll have to see. Alright, so the war will break out now. And I think we're outnumbered as far as the number of troops that were raised up into the conflict. Yeah, we are outnumbered. We're only gaining the 1% tax waste right now, so we'll wait until we finish up building these shipyards before we work on any further construction. Yeah, we're now in the war. We got realism, so we got that prestige bonus. So we should be advancing over here because Prussia doesn't have enough troops to stop us. Over here, looks like our side is at a disadvantage, but defense is easier than offense. But yeah, unfortunately we are losing this battle here. And that's their capital, so it's very easy to knock Denmark out of this. This war might not last long. I think they're still waiting for our troops to get there. Or did they already arrive? They might have. Let's just see here. Yeah, our troops are there. That's interesting. They're still able to advance over there. Yeah, we should win over here. And you always have to watch for any naval invasions because they don't tell you. Oh, they're sinking our convoys as well, as expected. Yeah, they don't tell you if you're being naval invaded. And the British are dealing with wars around the world. Yeah, we did advance here. Took a bunch of territory. And the Austrians now want a trade agreement, but we're not going to do a trade agreement with the Austrians. We're temporary allies here. We did get the voting for autocracy, so we should get that passed here. And hopefully we won't be in the negative after we finish constructing these. I don't know. We'll have to see, guys. We're being raided here. Yeah, unfortunately, we are losing territory here. We're just going to stay on defense, though. And yeah, Sweden got a very high defense here. So I guess the Austrians are trying to push forward there. But yeah, we'll just stick to the defense. And then once we finish up here against the Prussians, on this front, we could always help out over here. I'm just trying to see how they're currently doing. It looked like they're about even over here. So we could turn this in our favor and get Prussia out of the war, which would be incredibly helpful. Well, hopefully it's not over by then, because yeah, we got a severe disadvantage over here currently, despite having a higher number of troops. That's interesting. Not entirely sure why we're at such a disadvantage. We were able to pass autocracy though. Excellent. So finally, on the third try, we got it done. So we gained a bunch of loyalists from this, but our government is now incredibly illegitimate since we have new legitimacy rules due to having the autocracy. And the big problem here is probably just, I mean, we could take a look here, it's probably just too many. Yeah, you got the ideology penalty, the size of government penalty, and you're not getting the bonus from them having won elections. So let's go and reform our government, and it looks like the armed forces and the bourgeoisie would be the biggest, the highest, I mean, legitimacy that we could have. Of course, we got to have them because Napoleon is in the bourgeoisie. All right. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. We want to have it as high as possible. And that would at least put us into the legitimate government. If we went with keeping the Catholic Church in here, we would instead be contested. So we don't want that, obviously. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go and switch to that. And I'm sure the Catholic Church and the landowners are not happy about the situation. They didn't know that by supporting this law, they were going to get kicked out of government. So let's go and confirm that. And now this will allow us to go ahead, because we have a lot more authority at this point, to go ahead and suppress the landowners. We might want to boost the Catholic Church as well, though they're not in government, so boosting anybody who's not in government is probably not wise. And as long as Napoleon is the ruler, he's going to be in the bourgeoisie, so it makes sense to try and boost them. Even though there's probably not a lot we agree on here. But yeah, I think that's what we're clearly going to have to do, is go ahead and bolster them. Though, it looks like we don't quite have the authority to do so. We could stop suppressing somebody, like the intelligentsia or something like that. I think we're going to keep this as is, because us suppressing these three should hopefully benefit both the armed forces and the bourgeoisie. We'll have to see. Alright, so we're going to leave it as is. Right now, we are at least a legitimate government. I don't know if there's any laws we want to pass now. There might not be any that we can pass. Yeah, there's nothing. There's not a single law we can pass here. Well, that's an interesting situation. But let's go ahead and also, now that we finished the construction we were working on, and we're now on the positive, so that's good to see. It won't be like that for long, though, because we do need to fix our tax waste issue. So let's go ahead and do that and get ourselves some government administration buildings. So we'll base this off of any locations that have the lower taxation capacity. So how much do we need here? 2 of them would be enough. Alright, so they do not have the qualifications here. And I guess it doesn't really matter because you're not really getting much from them anyways. So probably just do it in these 2 locations. Now with the urbanizing France, we currently are sitting at 61.9% because we did get them added as a state, so they're incorporated now. And so we're doing pretty good. We're at 62%. So hopefully should get that done soon. And rural folk, of course, unhappy with us. Not surprising. But yeah, it's a real shame that our side seems to be losing here. Although, what happened here? How's their... Oh, they probably, maybe that was offensive. Yeah, that's probably offensive. We continue to lose convoys, unfortunately. Losing them here. We could attempt to stop them and do some convoy protection, but then we can't protect our coast. But you know what? The British might not even attempt to invade us here. So let's just, if they do, we have a lot of troops to push them back into the sea. So yeah, we'll go ahead and attempt to escort convoys. Although, you know, as usual, this often doesn't make any sense as far as like what gets highlighted here. Like we want to protect these 4. You notice that it's the North Africa one that would result in those being protected, with the exception of that one there. Rather than what you'd expect, you know, if you protected the shipping lanes here. Do you go with the ones that are lighted up over here? You know, to indicate that they would, you know, be in those zones, or would you go with the ones that make more sense? This is what we'll do. We'll just do both. So let's go ahead and have them escort convoys here, and then them escort convoys to what makes sense, which would be to probably to the Denmark one, because that's where you have your troops needing supply. You could also probably do the Russian one as well. So we'll do that, and we'll see which one engages them. So this is the admiral that's currently engaging them, and he's the one that's in the France HQ. So it is based off of what would make sense and not what lights up here. I was curious, wasn't entirely sure how it worked. So in this case, not sure who we're trading with through here. I assume it'd be the Greeks. And they are attacking us in our colonies. Well, that's interesting. So the British have turned it into a colonial conflict. Not that it matters. It really doesn't. So they can do all this and take the attrition. And yeah, it doesn't matter. Let them conquer this territory here. If they start getting too far up, then maybe we'll send some troops. But yeah, I don't really want to mobilize a bunch of troops here, because it doesn't really matter. And we're winning against Prussia here. And so if we can knock them out of the conflict, we'll also have these troops available to either help out over here in Denmark or to help out in North Africa. Alright, so a lot of things happening. Agitator dying. The landowners leader has retired. The trade unions are now influential. Well, that's interesting. So a lot of things happening at the moment. So we finished all that. So we now have the money, if we don't build anything, we just let the pops build, to go ahead and mobilize more troops so that we could send them to North Africa. And so I guess we will. Let's go ahead and mobilize another general. So maybe Dominique? Yeah, I think that's who we'll mobilize here. And he has 32 units, and we're just going to send him up to defend. And we'll have to see if that'll be enough to stop him from advancing any further. But yeah, we probably won't do an offensive there, because I don't expect that'll be enough troops to be able to win. Yeah, they're having a lot of success pushing forward here. Now, we haven't got those troops over there just yet. They'll be there in a matter of days here. There we go. And now we have the advantage on this front. So yeah, we'll just defend and let them kind of exhaust themselves. We're doing great on money. But let's build up the gold reserves again, because we spent a lot of money there. And then we take a look at our exile situation. So we currently just have this guy. Okay. Again, there's not really much laws we can work on. There are a few open now that weren't open before. This could like change over to secret police if you wanted to from the National Guard, which we don't use our conscripts generally. I try to avoid doing so. And so we don't really need those extra battalions being mobilized. Unless it would make sense to do this one here. Yeah, you don't need the conscription rate. Yeah, it's going to give you some nice bonuses. You lose a few bonuses here, but maybe not. Yeah, it looks like it's all either the same or better. So yeah, you could go to secret police. Not a high chance of this being successful. Only reason why it's even an option, I think it's because he supports it. Yeah, he wants to enact it. So real low support there, but it wouldn't piss anybody off either, though. Yeah, you can go backwards here. Alright, so yeah, that's the only one I could see doing. It would take a while to pass it. Yeah, since nobody really cares about it. Unless this increase our max home affairs. I figure why not. So let's go and do that. We still have a little bit of a bureaucracy shortfall here, so let's go ahead and build one more. And we will not mobilize any other troops, so no, we could. I don't think it's going to be necessary right now. Trying to avoid this war getting too expensive. I mean, we just take a look and see if we got like a low number of troops we might want to mobilize that aren't in the French HQ. We'd have to probably raise up another unit here. Like another general. Perhaps in this HQ where we have more troops just kind of sitting around. So let's just see here. Again, they're all from IGs that we don't want to get more powerful. You'd have to do the Catholic Church character here. Yeah, that'd be the only option here. Because we don't want to increase their power. And he's not great. But I guess we'll recruit him. We'll have 16 units. So not a lot. We'll just leave him there and then we'll mobilize this guy instead. And we could give him an additional army. And then what we could do is maybe even advance here on this front. But what I think we need to do is send them some assistance. And he's a defensive guy. So let's promote him. We can afford that. But we won't advance, we'll just defend here. Just make sure the Austrians don't get pushed out, because then our side would be in trouble. And so obviously we don't want that. Alright, so yeah, we'll just continue on the defense here, and hopefully we do well, though it looks like we didn't have the general yet in this case. He probably arrived afterwards. Oh lord. So Austria capitulated. So that's not good, because now Prussia can focus their forces. How they got them into this pocket, I don't know. But they are there. We still have the advantage as of right now, though. Alright, so that's not good. Because now this is going to get worse over here. I don't see how we win this at this point. There's no demands on us, right? I'm pretty sure there's not. Yeah. No demands on us. Okay, so yeah, the war is not going well now that the Austrians have left. They didn't even try that hard. They quit quite quickly. So let's go ahead and get that government administration building constructed. And I suppose we'll do it here. They'll just have to get the qualifications. They'll be fine. So we're going to build that there. And then as far as universities, let me just take a look how we're doing here. We're not that far away from our cap, so yeah, we're not going to invest any further right now. We'll just build that, because remember, we're trying to build up our gold reserves as well. Yeah, it looks like we should win there. Here they took more territory because our general wasn't there just yet. But he should be here now, and now things are not going to go so well for him, now that we got our general there. And so they shouldn't be able to advance any further. And so they'll just be taking casualties at this point. But yeah, here, now the Prussians are out. This is a very bad situation. Or not the Prussians, I mean the Austrians. It's a very bad situation there. Alright, so we got the ability to construct rubber plantations. Of course, don't want to do that until we have a demand for rubber. Prussia just capitulated. So now it's just us against the British. I mean, obviously Sweden's still involved here too. Yeah, this is not a bad situation at this point. So he's already come over here, but what I think we might want to do is like push the British back here first. Just because we don't want all this territory occupied. It's our territory. Although, if we want to make sure we don't lose here. I mean, currently we have it set to advance. I don't know that we actually want to advance just yet, because they're not even in here, so you'd only want to defend anyways. Yeah, I don't actually want to advance here. So yeah, we'd want to move him before that battle begins. So let's go ahead and do so. And let's instead have him advance over here and get him pushed completely back. So let's go and do that. And did they start up another front here? No. Can they invade across there? Maybe. I wonder. Let me just take a look here. If we can invade across here. It looks like we can. And we can take Gibraltar from them. That'd be an interesting situation. Yeah, we'll see when they get there. See what happens. I'm surprised they didn't advance there. Yeah, they took over a lot of our other colonial territory that we bordered them on. And we got the improved fertilizer, which of course is what we were working on. Okay, so we're going to want to change up all of those production methods. But first, let's go and get the next tech. And I think we said we were going to work on that one. Let me just see if there's anything for the military. Because we are fighting wars and stuff. You know, reducing wars Austrian casualties would be nice. Yeah, that would make sense. And yeah, nothing for the fleet that we want to get just yet. See, I could do this one here, 19 months. Yeah, we'll get that researched. Let's go and change up these production methods. So we'll start with the chemical plants, change them over to improved fertilizers. This will require more iron. But fertilizer will get very cheap, allowing us to put that into... Apparently we don't even have this being used anywhere. Wow. Okay. I didn't realize that. I think it's because fertilizer was so expensive, but that's the reason why we built all those. So yeah, let's go and change over so that we're using the fertilizers. That should improve their economic situation. And we got an event for the enactment of that law. The armed forces have issued a stern ultimatum to Walter von Hertling about towing the party's line on the secret police law, and he's determined to resist. So this would increase his popularity while also increasing the bourgeoisie's attraction, which we actually want to do. Well, this one here, it's not a high chance of anything going well. So we'll go with this one. That should give us more legitimacy, since both of the interest groups are impacted in a positive manner. So yeah, now we're at 80. Alright, so that's a good thing. So we are here. Oh no, not quite yet. Still waiting to get there. One day. So yeah, it looks like we should be able to take Gibraltar from them. I don't know why they didn't do that. Yeah, they don't need anybody over here to defend it. So we were able to just take it immediately, I think. Or maybe not. Yeah, because it basically just disappeared now. The front. Okay, I'm not entirely sure why that was even a possibility for us. Very strange. Anyways, so they're now standing by. Okay, I'm not entirely sure why that was a possibility. But let's go and advance over here. Clearly they sent more troops. Oh, wait a minute. What happened to those other troops that we had? They just take off? Have we got more issues? Yeah, of course. God damn it. Alright, so these guys just took off over here. And so that's not good. Alright, let's leave this guy there to defend, since he's already over there now. And we'll then bring this guy, because he's good with the supply. And yeah, we'd prefer to have our defensive guy over there anyway. But yeah, let's have him defend over here. But yeah, it's such a bummer they just left. Now they'll be able to advance again. Why did they leave? I don't understand why they left. So you still gotta just babysit these damn generals, man. Yeah, situation over here not good though. Overall. Yeah, not a good situation. They'll likely be able to advance here. We'll have to see. Oh, maybe not. Alright, so we pushed them back there. They were not able to get a victory there. How are we doing on gold reserve? Still going to continue to build that up. We also are intercepting their raiders. We have the advantage over here. And so we are now going to start pushing the front forward again. Alright, excellent. Alright, say again, this will be the first time we're pushing the front forward. 26% chance of success here now. Alright, so let's just see what happened here. So with this option, they would a 50% chance that the armed forces would like us more, and we'd get more supporters of the armed forces. 45% chance it'd be the bourgeoisie instead. 5% chance that Walter would be exiled. We don't want that because obviously can't pass this without him. But yeah, I think we're gonna go with that route. And then also you get the 5% enactment success chance. Because I don't care which one of them get the approval. Both of them are in government, so. And so yeah, we're at 31% now. Yeah, should be advancing that front there. Are they on any other fronts? No, it doesn't look like it. They already kind of won over here and occupied all of our territory, so. Alright, so yeah, we'll be advancing over here with this battle, getting our territory back. Alright, excellent. So that worked well for us. And so yeah, we'll just push them back over there. And then over here, we're still winning the defense as well. You know, again, it's a lot harder to advance than it is to defend. And so thus far the war is going decent now that the Prussians are out of it. So that was a good reason for us invading there, is to get them kicked out of the conflict so that they would capitulate. So now the Prussians and the Germans are out, and so are the British. So the situation has changed dramatically now. Though for whatever reason they're still shown as occupying this territory. Maybe that will adjust. Alright, so this will result in all the generals coming over here. Or maybe not. Okay, so we'll have to move them. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. We do have a frontier with Denmark. Oh, it's a bummer we couldn't get control of that. Could go conquer that real quick, but it's irrelevant. Doesn't really matter in the larger conflict here. Basically, we just want to send all our troops over here now. So, yeah, we would have put everybody over here. And we'll just probably put them all on the offensive, unless they're like a defensive commander, which we have one of those, so. So we're going to bring everybody over here. So yeah, he'll stay on the defense. Just bring everybody over here, and we should be able to win this war for Denmark, or at least get a white peace out of it. And got another event here. Minor interest. So this with the rural folk. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of those being good there. This one here isn't too bad. You piss them off, at least you reduce their political strength. Or you can back them. You want to make them like us a bit more, but they'd also be stronger, get more support. So I don't really want to irritate them though, because then that puts them at a -5, so we get the penalty. Which one is the penalty for the rural folk? I'll just double check here because I don't recall. So we'll just take a look. So that's the technology spread. Okay, obviously we don't want that, but it's fine. We don't want to support the rural folk. We don't want them to get any more popular. Alright, so we just gotta wait for our troops to move over here, and then we should be able to win. And we got a petition from the bourgeoisie. They want to do the national supremacy. All right, that's kind of counter to what we want to do. So yeah, they want that enacted. And so yeah, probably not going to get done. We're currently only doing the cultural exclusion. But yeah, I don't know why we'd want to go further back on this one. And that's just part of having the bourgeoisie in government. They're called the petite bourgeoisie, but they should be called the petty bourgeoisie. Yeah, we do not want to go backwards here. So yeah, we would not be able to appease them on that. And thus, they're going to get kicked out of government, which is going to be a huge problem because our legitimacy will be nothing. So yeah, this obviously isn't good, but I don't know what else you do. And I guess you could just add them right back in as long as they're not too mad at you, though they probably would be. Yeah. Time runs out to be -5. I don't know what their current support level is. They're pretty loyal. So we could just add them right back into government. So it wouldn't even be an issue. Other than obviously you lose all the bonuses you're getting from them. But there's really no other option because I'm not going backwards in that area. Spain refused to become a protectorate. Or excuse me, Portugal refused to become a protectorate of Spain. That's interesting. Trying to get the rest of the Iberian Peninsula in their control. They need to go after Gibraltar. Fight the British. Obviously, we'd have to help them, though, to get that. Which, we don't really want to fight another war against the British at this moment. How expensive has this war been for us? So just looking at the cost, 3.63 million. So yeah, pretty expensive. The wounded, 84,000 from battle, 20,000 from attrition. And then the dead here is 38,000 from battle and 19,000 from attrition. So yeah, once we get up to, we could build one thing. Yeah, we'll build one thing. Let's just take a look at the market prices and see what we might want to get. So dye. Yeah, I mean, obviously only doing constructing one thing at a time isn't gonna make a huge difference, but yeah, sure, we'll do that. Maybe we can do 2. We'll see how expensive this is gonna be. So we want dye plantations, which they might already be taking care of that. Nope, they're doing groceries. Okay, do what you do, man. All right, so as far as where you'd want to get this, they have a lot of labor here. Yeah, a considerable amount of labor. So I think we're going to build it here. And yeah, we can do 2. So we'll do 2 levels there. I know they don't have the qualifications, but they'll figure it out, I'm sure. That might be because of discrimination. That's what I would assume. So we got this event again. And we actually would want... Well, we don't want to lose the bonus they're giving us. But we do want to decrease their strength here. So yeah, let's go with that one. And so yeah, we lose the manufacturing bonus there, but yeah, it's fine. So yeah, we were pushing forward against Sweden. And we get up to their capital, then we should be able to force them to capitulate here. And so then that will force Sweden to renounce their ambitions to unify Scandinavia. And they'll, of course, be humiliated as well. So yeah, everybody, all the other allies here left the war. It just became too costly. People just didn't care enough about it. We got an event about organized crime. We don't really want to lose authority here. But we also don't want to pay that much money for 5 years. That's significant. As far as how much that'll impact the authority, we can afford it. So yeah, we'll just do that. It'll just make passing the law a little bit slower. Oh, did we already construct that? Yeah, we already got that constructed. Okay, so yeah, we can build something else. So that should be cheaper. Yeah, dyes are a little bit cheaper now. And luxury furniture. Perhaps might be the next thing we want to work on. Let me just see what regular furniture is priced. We could also just sell it if it gets too cheap. Let me just take a look. Actually, fertilizer is really cheap. So you know what? Let's go ahead and... Well, first, let me make sure we're not doing any trade routes for fertilizer. Or just anything that's not profitable, which you can see here. The last one is not. So we'll change that up. And then, that'll get us some of that bureaucracy back, which we're again in the negative, so we need to take care of that. Alright, so that's what we'll do first. Let's go ahead and work on that for the government administration buildings. And we'll build in both these locations. I assume they're just not able to get the anybody hired there due to the qualifications issue, but that does result in people moving over there. So we'll build those over there. And so we're not earning as much now, but that's okay. And we finally moved to consideration. Alright, took long enough. So I was hoping to get this war done, but yeah, it's taking a little bit longer than I was expecting. So unfortunately, we're going to have to end today's episode here. We got more loyalists than we do radicals. Let's just see how we're doing against the British before we end off here. So they have significantly higher prestige. Good God. Alright, we do have a better economy though. Our GDP is worth more than theirs, despite the fact that we haven't been building. So that's excellent news. Standard of living though is still lower. Significantly more population as well. Probably due to all of our colonization efforts, I would assume. And it looks like we're having a lot of success colonizing over here in the Pacific. Alright, so that's helping us out quite a bit. Because our population is now higher than the Russians. We just passed the Russians. So yeah, we're doing really, really well. But still, prestige is just far too low. And it's likely their fleet giving them a lot of that. Yeah, I bet their fleet's giving them some nice bonuses there. We just need to increase our navy. But we got to get the economy sorted out because we are not doing well there. We can barely even construct anything at the moment. But of course, once we finish up this war and aren't mobilizing troops anymore, then that'll help the situation. They have 309 ships though. Jeez, man. Yeah, it feels like we just can't catch up. They're making sure their fleet remains more powerful and larger than ours. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.